How have you been, everyone? I hope you all are doing well. Without further ado, let's start the video. In the previous chapter, our protagonist was reincarnated as a fish after dying at the hands of a monstrous creature. As a fish, he navigated the perilous underwater world, fighting off numerous sea monsters and larger predatory fish, constantly evading death. His experience as a fish honed his survival instincts and sharpened his combat skills, even in his new, less-than-ideal form. Each battle was a struggle, but he managed to persevere, growing stronger and more adept with each encounter. Then we see our protagonist and the system girl looking towards a dead fish that had been attacked by an unknown creature. Our protagonist asks the system, "What is this thing? Is it edible?" The system girl replies, "You can eat it if you want." Then our protagonist suddenly bites the dead fish, but an unknown creature slips out of his mouth. After some time, he looks gloomy and says, "How could I let something get away from right in front of my mouth?" Looking towards the deep water, he thinks, "This thing is obviously not from this pool, so why does it look like it knows its way around the deep end?" He ponders again. "This shallow water seems calm, but in fact, it's making me anxious every day. Is there any way for me to get rid of it once and for all?" Seeing his gloomy face, the system girl says, "What, still thinking about your pocket watch?" Excitedly, our protagonist replies, "That's right. I have to hurry up and upgrade to get my pocket watch. Why am I wasting time?" He then swims towards the black trees from earlier and says, "Bon appetit," before biting 3 black fish at the same time. The scene shifts to a boat near a beach where we see police surrounding the boat from all sides. Then we see inside the boat, a man dead on his bed, and one of the police officers says, "They were really?" We see the police officer interrogating one of the survivors from that boat. The survivor, trembling with fear, says, "They were really killed by a loach." The police officer, skeptical, responds, "Who are you fooling?" The survivor shouts back, "I am not lying. That loach bit right through Zheng's neck and into his body." Another police officer tries to calm the survivor, saying, "Just calm down." The survivor, holding his head in his hands, says, "I was really scared last night, otherwise I would have called the police." One of the police officers questions further, "You just said they, but there is only one body in the house. Where are the others?" The survivor, trembling in fear, says, "No way, impossible. I saw that loach kill them with my own eyes. I told them that loach was dangerous, but they had to bring it back." The 2 police officers restrain the survivor, one of them saying, "You can go in. Don't disrupt the crime scene." The survivor, still frantic, says, "It's over. It's all over now." Hearing that, one of the officers says, "Contact the Dragon unit. They might have something to do with this." Soon after, our protagonist's girlfriend arrives at the scene. She examines a dead fish's empty shell and says, "Sure enough, there's nothing left but empty shells." She asks the survivor, "Where did you find this?" The survivor replies, "Near the blocked coastline." She nods and says, "I see, and there's a body missing, right?" A police officer answers, "Yes, the last traces of blood were found near a local lake." Remembering the fish monster's egg, she thinks, "It seems that the mutant creature yesterday was invaded by this mutant loach, so its body was full of loach eggs. I still couldn't prevent it." She quickly picks up her phone and says, "Zhao, it's a big problem. The mutant may have entered the inland waters. Hurry up and organize a rescue in the sub-district." After hanging up, she turns to the survivor and says, "Take me to that river." After that, we see our protagonist eating fish, and he says, "Burp. Finally, I am almost done." The system girl remarks, "This is a big pool, but why are you only eating pleco fish?" Our protagonist replies, "You don't know this, but plecos are an invasive species. I have eaten almost everything that threatens me in shallow water. The rest of these are harmless, native inhabitants, and there is no need to eat them." Suddenly, a system panel appears in front of our protagonist, and the system says, Evolution, 1681,000. Evolution condition has been met. Would you like to evolve? Seeing that, our protagonist laughs and says, I can upgrade again, that's good. Every time I level up, I might get a new scale. But what do you mean by auspiciousness? Will a chi boost really work for me? Then, another notification shows up in front of our protagonist. Ding! The task has been refreshed. Normal mission, devour 100 pleco fish 32-100. Reward, improved teeth sharpness. Difficult mission, devour 10 mutant creatures. Reward, blue treasure chest. Seeing this, our protagonist says, It's early in the morning, and I guessed it right. Missions refresh every morning. He looks at the system panel intently and says, Are there 10 mutant creatures to devour in the pool? Then our protagonist ponders. Sea loaches are supposed to live in the sea. Why are they here? Is it possible that someone brought these mutant creatures into this dragon pond? Or did these mutants mix in with those plecos? Then our protagonist says again, Forget it. It's useless to think about it so much. He then says to himself, Let's upgrade first. After the evolution process, a new system panel appears, displaying all his stats and skills. Seeing the new skill, our protagonist remarks, There is one more skill this time. Isn't this just like a chameleon? Noticing the numerous fish around him, he adds, By the way, it seems my divine power has also upgraded. But it only boosts the evolutionary speed of nearby plants and animals, not my own. So, am I a buff? From the side of the pool, a mother and a little girl watch the scene where our protagonist is testing his divine power, surrounded by many fish. The little girl exclaims, Mom, look, there are so many fish! Her mother responds, Good girl, this place is going into lockdown. We will come back another time. After that, we see many soldiers, holding guns, arriving at the pool. One of them announces to the civilians, We ask all unrelated people to leave the area quickly. We ask all unrelated people to leave the area quickly. Suddenly, the soldiers throw a mechanical ball into the pool. Seeing the ball, the protagonist says, What's this? And thinks, What's all this? What are they trying to detect? Don't tell me. The ball sends a distress signal to the soldiers. At the same time, the protagonist receives numerous warning notifications from the system. The soldiers see the detected warning from the device and immediately go on high alert. Then we see all the soldiers wearing swimsuits and oxygen cylinders jump into the pool. At the same time, our main protagonist gets a warning signal from the system. Warning, you have been marked as a mutant creature. Please leave immediately. Please leave immediately. Please leave immediately. Seeing this, our protagonist says, Oh no! Then, noticing the number of people jumping into the pool, he thinks, The deep waters are teeming with too many unknown mutants. It's too dangerous. Suddenly, he swims towards the deep water, saying, Dangerous or not, rather than sitting in the shallows waiting to die, I'd rather take a chance. As he swims with a lot of big sea monsters, he says to himself, It's not that bad, times have changed. Hearing that, the system girl says to our protagonist, How about we venture further into the depths? Hearing this, our protagonist says, No, no, no. As my system, can you wish for my well-being for once?
Who pushes their host into the fire pit?
The system girl replies, Since we are here, why not grab a bite before we go? Then our protagonist sees in front of him a fish that the same unknown creature had eaten from the inside. Seeing this, our protagonist says to the system girl, I've got goosebumps all over. Hearing that, the system girl responds, You are a fish now. Where did you get goosebumps from? Suddenly, our protagonist uses his skill, camouflage, and becomes invisible, thinking, this camouflage is quite helpful, perfect for sneaking. Then, suddenly, our protagonist bites the head of the dead fish where the unknown creature was trying to eat. He exclaims, slippery as if eating glass noodles. Then our protagonist gets a new notification from the system, difficult task, devour 10 mutant creatures. Reward, blue treasure chest completed. Accept reward. Seeing this, our protagonist gets shocked and says, "Holy moly, I actually did it." The system girl opens the chest for our protagonist to see. Seeing the chest in front of him, our protagonist says, "Why won't it let me see what's inside?" The system girl responds, "This is a reward chest for a designated task." Then suddenly, a new system notification pops up in front of our protagonist, showing the acquired skill reward, black iron scales. The scales all over the body are as hard as black iron. Our protagonist, now covered in black iron scales, says, "Feels like all my scales have been plucked. But it doesn't hurt, it's kinda itchy. My scales should have gotten harder, right? This is a pure white reward. I have Istanbul open." After some time, our protagonist says again, "Phew, first transformation is still not quite used to it, but with this scale armor, I think I can dominate." Self-preservation should not be a big problem. Suddenly, he senses a presence behind him. A pair of red, angry eyes is looking towards him. He remembers the moment when he confronted the mutant snake and thinks, "Mutant snake. It's appeared again." Without delay, the mutant snake attacks. Our protagonist receives a notification from his system, warning. The opponent's combat power is slightly higher than the host's. Seeing this, our protagonist looks towards the snake, smiling, and says, "If it's just a slight advantage in combat power, then damn. I really have to show you who's boss." Then we see the mutant snake attempt to bite our protagonist, opening its mouth wide. Our protagonist activates his black iron scales, and the snake's teeth break upon impact. Swinging his tail, our protagonist delivers a powerful tail slam, injuring the snake. Our protagonist taunts, "A beast is a beast. This is the second time. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?" He then bites the snake and activates his black iron scales, saying, "Go on, struggle. Witness the fruits of my evolution." The snake tries to escape, but our protagonist remarks, "Thinking of running now? Weren't you the one who wanted to eat me in the beginning?" He bites the snake again. The snake retaliates by slamming our protagonist into the ground with its long, thick body, but our protagonist bites harder and shouts, "Go die. Go die for me," tearing off a part of the snake's body. The snake wraps itself around our protagonist, who responds, scale strengthening, powerful tail swing. With a final, powerful attack, our protagonist kills the snake. A new notification appears, "You have slain the mutant red dot brocade snake." Our protagonist, feeling the triumph, exclaims, "That's it, finally got that bad taste out of my mouth. Time to get back what's mine." Suddenly, a new system notification appears, "Mutant red dot brocade snake slain. Gain evolution points, 500. Excitedly, our protagonist says, 500 points. That's a lot. The system girl appears, saying, "This is what it's like to surpass your level. There are unexpected gains." As she speaks, a red diamond forms on our protagonist's forehead, and he glows with a mysterious blue light. In an astonishing transformation, we see our protagonist shift into human form.